Hello my dear students, once again welcome back to your online class. So as many of you might already be knowing me, my name is Deepak Chetri and I'll be taking two of the subjects in your class, that is physics and chemistry. So in today's first online class, or more precisely to call, in this first video, we'll be discussing about the first chapter of your physics textbook, that is the chapter measurement. So coming to this word measurement, many of you already might be knowing what does this word measurement means. So measurement means whenever we measure the length, area or the volume, that is said to be the measurement. So in this chapter we'll be covering about the two of the important topics, that is the measurement of area and the measurement of volume. Also coming to the topic of area, we'll also be learning how to measure the area of regular bodies and irregular bodies. Similarly, for a volume, we'll be learning on how to find the volume of a regular and irregular bodies. And apart from that, we'll also be studying about the density, relative density, and how to measure the relative density of a liquid. And the final topic is the flotation and sinking. And last not the least, we'll also be discussing on how the density of the substance varies with the temperature. So to start with the first topic, area. Okay. So area. Okay, so what is the area? Area is the space, literally the two-dimensional space occupied by the object is known as a area. So now to find the area of regular bodies means whose shape is already known. Okay, like some of the regular bodies is, so first finding the area of regular. Okay, so the area of regular bodies, so you need to memorize some of the formulas for that. Suppose if I give you a rectangle, a piece of paper which is rectangle in shape, which has a length and a breadth. So how do you find the area? Simply the formula is the area is equals to the length into breadth. Suppose if I give you a square, to find the area of a square, how do you find? The area of a square is equals to suppose if this is length and this one is also length. Why length? Because in square all the four sides are same. So simply it is L into L, that is L square. Okay, so when you go on to your higher classes, you will also learn how to find the area of some of the regular bodies like a cylinder, okay, like for a sphere, for a circle, okay, so which you don't have to go in details in class 7. Okay, so for a regular bodies, we have a specific or a definite formula where we can substitute the value and then simply we can find the area of a regular bodies. Now coming to the unit of this area, so what is L? L is the length. So the SI unit of length is meter. Breadth is also length only, so it is also meter. So when I multiply meter into meter, I get meter square. So remember in terms of remember that whenever we talk about the unit of area, we'll always have this power 2. Why? Because the length is multiplied 2 times there. So if centimeter is multiplied, we get centimeter square. If kilometer and kilometer is multiplied, we get kilometer square. Okay, so the unit of area always comes with the power of 2. And also remember that to find the area of a regular bodies, you need to know the formula also. Now how to find the area of irregular bodies, so that you may say in your textbook as well. So to find the area of irregular bodies, we need a graph paper. Okay, suppose if I have a graph paper, and now suppose the graph paper is equally divided into vertical and horizontal lines like this. Okay, so you must be knowing what is a graph paper. Suppose if I have to find the area of a piece of leaf. Okay, so leaf, the shape is unknown. Okay, so how do we do? So we place the leaf on a graph paper and we draw its outline, okay, in this manner, and then we count the total number of full boxes. So here if I have to count the total number of full boxes, how many are there? So I have here 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, so I have full box, how many? So full is, how many I said? I have 6. And then you will count the number of boxes which is equal to half or more than half. But if it is less than half, you will exclude that one, you will not count. Like in the first case, this one, I will not take this one because it is less than half. And this one, it is exactly half. So I have 1, there is more than half, 2, this I guess it is half, 3, this one I will not take, this also excluded, this one, so this one is 4 and this one is 5. So total half or more than half. So how many I have? I have 5. So what you will do, you will add this, the total full boxes and the boxes which are equal to half or more than half. So I have 6 plus 5, it gives me 11. Now each of these square, if it is a 1 centimeter square, then I write this as a 1 centimeter square. If it is 1 meter square, I write it as 11 meter square. Okay, so that is how we find the area of a irregular bodies with the help of a graph paper. Now second one is the volume. Okay, now coming to the definition of volume. So what is a volume? Volume is a space occupied by an object in a 3 dimension. Okay, so coming to the volume, we also have similarly volume of a regular and a irregular bodies. Like for a regular bodies, we have some of the known volume is a cuboid. Oh sorry, not cuboid, cube. Cube means, have you seen a die, dice? That means we play Ludo, no? So that is known as die. Okay, in which each of the side is same. So A and A. Okay, so the area of a cube is equals to A cube. Okay, so that means you will multiply A 3 times. And also now coming to the unit, now since we multiply length 3 times, so the unit will be in terms of cube. Like if it is centimeter, we write centimeter cube. If it is meter, we write meter cube. It is kilometer, we write kilometer cube. Just like to find the area of a regular bodies, you need to know the formula. Similarly, to find the volume of a regular bodies, you need to know its formula. Okay, so like for a cube and for a cuboid means just like a matchbox. Okay, so where the length, breadth and height are different. So in that case, the area is equals to the length into breadth into height. What will be the unit? Here also it will be the centimeter cube or meter cube, because I have multiplied the length 3 times. Okay, so that is how we find the area of a, sorry, not area, the volume of a regular bodies. Now how do you find the volume of a irregular bodies? Okay, irregular bodies in the sense like if you take a stone from a roadside and if you want to find the area, not area, volume. Okay, so we do not, that stone does not have a definite shape, so we do not know its formula. So what do? In a can, we take water. It's called a Eureka can. Okay, so where I have an outlet like this, and then I fill this Eureka can to the brim, to its up to its outlet. Okay, and then I take the irregular body and tie it with a thread, and then I also take a measuring cylinder in the outer part, and then I dip this stone in this Eureka can. So when I dip this one, so it's very clear what will happen. Some of the water will spill out. Okay, so we'll take that water and measure its volume with the help of the measuring cylinder. So whatever amount of water spills out, or whichever amount of water is left in that measuring can, that is the volume of a irregular bodies that we have taken into consideration. Okay, so that is how we find the volume of a irregular bodies. Now after having known this length and area and the volume, we have the another important term known as density. So what is that? So that is a density. Okay, so literally if you have to understand physically, density means like suppose if I give you two sacks, okay, or 2 bags whose volume is equal, like equal in size. One I filled it with a cotton and the other I filled it with a sand. So which one will be heavy? It's very simple that the bag that contains the sand will be heavy. Although the shape also, the volume also, the size was also same, but the sand is heavier than the cotton. So we can say the density of sand is much more than the density of a cotton. Okay, so density means the substance will be heavy. Okay, so density is defined as its mass per unit volume. So density means it is the mass per unit volume divided by the volume. Okay, so now what will be the unit? Since the density is a physical quantity means anything that can be measured. So mass is measured in terms of kg, and the volume, if it is measured in terms of meter cube, then it is kg per meter cube. If it is measured in gram and centimeter, it will be gram per centimeter cube. Okay, so that is what is meant by the density. Density means the mass per unit volume. So now coming to the another topic, the relative density. Okay, so another topic we have is the relative density. RELATIVE Okay, so whenever you come across this word relative, it means that something is compared with the other thing. So here also density means the density of one substance is compared with the density of the other substance. So that is said to be the relative density. So what is this and that substance? So whenever the density of substance is compared with the density of water, then that is said to be the relative density. So the relative density is defined as the ratio of the density of substance divided by the density of water. Okay, so the relative density is the ratio of density of substance to the density of water. Now coming to the unit. Okay, what is the unit to measure a relative density? So what will be it? Simple. Okay, relative density does not have any unit because they are the ratios of the same physical quantity. Like the density of substance is also kg per meter cube and density of water is also kg per meter cube. So both the unit it cancels, and as a result the relative density it does not have any unit. Like suppose if I say the relative density of iron is 3. So what does it mean? It means that the iron is 3 times heavier than the water. So simply that is what is meant by the relative density. So coming to this relative density, it's easy to measure the relative density of a substance. Okay, how do you measure the relative density of a what we call a liquid? Very simple. So we have one bottle, simple bottle, not only one, you can take any bottle. Okay, but specifically here in your book it is mentioned that is known as a relative density bottle. Okay, something like this. Okay, so how do you find? Suppose to find the density of a liquid, what do? We take this relative density bottle and measure its mass. Okay, empty bottle. So if the empty bottle weighs empty bottle, if it weighs m1 gram. Okay, so first you need to measure the weight of empty relative density bottle, which is m1. Second, what will you do? You will feed this relative density bottle with the water. Okay, so now again take the mass. So now bottle plus water. Suppose if it is m2. Okay, now third one is you throw out the water and put the unknown liquid, like if you have to find the relative density of a kerosene. Okay, then the third I take the bottle plus liquid. If it is m3, then the relative density of a given liquid is found out as it is the relative density will be equals to, you remember this formula. Okay, so it is the density of the substance, that is m3 minus m1 divided by m2 minus m1. So this formula, what am I trying to do? So from the mass of the water and the bottle I am subtracting the mass of bottle. From the mass of bottle and the liquid I am subtracting the mass of bottle. Okay, so that means it is the relative density is also the ratio of the same or the equal volume of the mass of the given liquid to the same volume of water. Okay, so that is what this formula conveys us. So the relative density is the density of ratio of the substance to the density of the water at 4 degrees centigrade. Now why at 4 degrees centigrade we will learn in the next classes, in the other classes if there is a topic covered in your syllabus. And the final topic we have in this chapter is the flotation and the sinking. Okay, so you already must have noticed that in a water, some of the substance it floats and some of it sinks. Like if you throw a stone, what happens? The stone will sink in the water. But if you throw a piece of wood, the wood floats in a water. So now why does that happen? It happens because of the difference of the density. Like if you compare the water and stone. Okay, so this is water and stone. The density of stone is heavier than that of the density of water. If you compare the density of water and plastic, okay, the density of water is more than the density of plastic. So from this it is clear that if the body's density is more than the density of the liquid, it sinks. and if the density of a body is less than the density of a liquid or a water, then it floats. So in terms of this density, you can easily differentiate when does a body floats and when does a body sinks. And finally, coming to the last topic of today's class, it is the variation of density versus the temperature. Okay, so later on you will be learning that with the increase in the temperature, the volume of the substances increases, which is known as thermal expansion. That means whenever you heat something, its volume increases. So due to the increase in the volume, what happens? The density decreases. Now when does the volume increase? The volume increases when the temperature increases. Okay, so if the volume increases, the density, what happens? It decreases. So that means the volume and the density, they are inversely proportional to one another. So if the temperature increases, the density of a body increases. So this is all that is included in your first chapter. So dear students, go through this video properly, also go through your book, and if you have any problem, you are always free to ask me in my WhatsApp number. Thank you, stay home and stay safe.